Hey, everybody, welcome to Speech Bubble. I, of course, am Butch Hartman, and this is the amazing Jace Diehl. What's up, Jace?
Hey, thanks for having me.
And I've got someone here from 17.com. Your name is?
Stacey Grant.
Stacey's great. She works at 17, and your age is 17, so you guys have something in common.
Wow, I can't believe it. Wow.
Now,
meant to be.
Don't you have to be 17 to drive a car in California?
Oh, shoot. I've been breaking the law all this time.
Who drove you here?
I drove myself.
We better...
Don't
wait,
tell anybody.
Are those sirens?
But this isn't being
Oh,
aired, right?
Jace,
Don't
run!
tell.
No!
Oh, no!
All right, that was our amazing theme music, Jace. I've gotten the cops out of here. You're not in
Right.
trouble
Woo!
anymore.
All right,
that was
thanks
a
for-
close one.
Again, you broke me out of the situation. Again.
Well, that's what
It's
I
happened
do.
multiple
You
times.
know, well, I could have done the full-on Batman fighting a herd of cops. Is it a herd of cops?
Sure.
It's a squad of cops.
It's a herd of sheep cops.
I could have fought them off, or I could have just, said, "Hey, could you leave the nice young boy alone?" Which is what I did, and they walked away.
Yeah.
But
But
don't.
you were still wearing the Batman mask, though.
Right, which they found odd.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fine.
it's-
But dude, just don't. You have to. Just don't drive here without a license. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying.
Yeah,
There's
I'll get on that.
Jace, there's kids out there that look up to you.
Name one.
I'm working on that. Let's get to our guest, though. We have a guest in the studio. Now, Jace, I want to say once again, there's a
boy.
girl in the studio.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I know that you don't encounter many girls in your line of work.
My mom, Butch.
Well, there's your
It's
mom.
my mom. My mom's
Well,
very relevant in my
Your
life.
mom, I met your mom, a lovely lady.
Yes, I agree.
Lovely lady. Hey, but we have the amazing Stacey Grant. Hi, Stacey Grant.
Hey, what's up?
Our audience loves you. You can hear the applause. Thank you very much, audience. Applauding
Please,
right
you're
there.
too
Very
much.
nice. We need a bigger round of applause for Stacey. That's better. Very
Thank you.
nice.
Thank you, guys.
No, I met you because tell people how we met.
You popped up on Facebook, and I was like, "Oh, I know him." So I clicked add, and you said accept.
Nice.
Was it that creepy? I popped up on Facebook. Was I stalking you on Facebook?
No, and I hadn't even moved to New York yet. I don't think. I was just like, "Oh, I know he made
Oh.
Fairly Odd Parents," and so I was like, "What the heck?" And then that was that.
And I accepted your friend request.
And then and then I moved here, and then after working a little bit, I was at Viacom, which obviously owned Nickelodeon and MTV, where I was at. And then something, like I had just started there, and something came up about Fairly Odd Parents, and then that's kind of how that started.
And you now explain when you say you were working at Viacom. What were you doing at Viacom?
I was an entertainment writer for MTV News, and I also helped out with their Snapchat channel. So I just covered all kinds of entertainment topics. My passion was like nostalgia, so like mostly Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, like
Right.
classic shows.
And I'm so old, I now fall into the nostalgia category, which is exciting.
But nostalgia is like the new black, which is also the name of my blog that I haven't updated.
Nostalgia is the new black.
Yes.
Got it.
Anyways, and so like it's all coming back, so it's really still relevant with our audience,
Very
which
cool.
is I love it. So I'm glad other people do too, so I can like talk about it.
You're back, Butch.
I'm back.
You're
Hey,
back.
I'm back. That's awesome. I'm back. Hey, but what's really cool is that you actually wrote some very cool articles about Fairly Odd Parents. I think when Sparky or
No,
Chloe.
It was Chloe
When
for season
Carmichael-
10.
Yeah, when Chloe came on Fairly Odd Parents, you wrote a great article about that, and it was very kind. It's always very. See, when you do nice things, we do nice things back.
Like,
when
good things happen.
Exactly. You get to be on the big podcast here.
Yeah, exactly.
Our set costs about $10. Did you know that? This is a huge budget we have here.
It does not look it.
Oh,
so.
good. At least $15. It looks like a $15
And that's Canadian
look.
money, too.
Oh, okay. Even
Yeah,
better.
so that's woo.
Yeah,
It's
I
a
know.
$15 look for $10.
That's right.
But I'm glad you're here. So you're mainly a writer by trade, right?
Yes.
Okay. Now, how did you get into that? Tell our audience, because our audience is full of young hopefuls like yourself.
Okay.
They want to get into entertainment and write and draw and all that fun stuff. So, or like do films. So, how did you get into doing what you do?
Well, I don't know if you can hear my accent. I'm from Texas.
I was going to say England, but right there, you sound just
Very
like
close.
Sherlock Holmes. No, I'm kidding.
And
I
so
say, Watson, I think we got us a crime down here.
You're doing
I would read
little
that fan
Andy
fiction.
Griffith.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. My mom was from the South. I understand the Southern accent.
So yeah, so
So you're from the South.
I am from the South. I live in New York now, though, so I'm more of an East Coaster. I've been there for like 3 years, and love it. But when I was in Texas, I studied radio, television, film at the University of North Texas, focusing on the film part. And I wanted to be a screenwriter since I was like 14.
Have you written a screenplay?
I
yet?
did for no, it's gone nowhere, but that's okay.
By the way, join the club.
Yeah.
This happens. By the way, you're probably going to write 4 or 5 screenplays until you sell one.
Right.
And I even tell people when they sell one, don't quit your job because it takes a long time to get paid for a screenplay. It's awesome to do one, but like I say, every movie you've ever seen in your life takes about 6-7 years to get made. So
totally.
just be patient. So,
Right. And so so I focused on screenwriting in college, and I was gonna move to LA for grad school, and then one day I was just like, I don't want to go to school anymore. Like after I got my bachelor's. So I wanted to move to New York and do something in the entertainment industry, kind of work my way up. And no one was hiring in like Texas. It was all like, oh, you'll get paid in experience. And I was like, I'm a college graduate. I need money now. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I didn't really want to live in Texas anymore. And so I was like trying to apply for stuff in New York. And I always liked writing.
While living in Texas, you were still
which is not easy to do because they like aren't convinced you're actually going to move.
Right.
And so I started I liked BuzzFeed articles and I was like reading some of theirs, and you could like write your own for like you're just doing it for fun. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So like I wrote some and they were doing pretty well and no one was still hiring me. So I just kept writing them. And then I wrote 200. I realized I'm sad. And
That's
so.
awesome. That's great.
And
You wrote 200 what? Articles?
Yeah, well, for free, so I don't necessarily recommend that, but yes, I did.
How many, okay, let's back up. That's amazing. I mean, how many pages was each article? Like a couple paragraphs? Was it pages?
They were like a lot of them were like listicles, or it was different types of articles. It wasn't like I interviewed anybody. I didn't start doing that till later. But
listicles sounds like a word we shouldn't say in front of young children. I'm not going to say what it sounds like.
I got my listicle removed last week.
No, see right there. That's what I'm saying.
I'm sorry.
That's why right there. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's why we can't have nice things around here because of the way you treat things. Okay.
This is a family show.
It's a family show.
Wait, so how did your articles get popular on the
Oh,
site?
listicles, like an article of lists.
Right.
Yeah, there you
Boom,
go.
Nailed it.
Was. I got it.
So
How'd they get popular? Yeah.
I just wrote a bunch, and they started like the people who run the BuzzFeed community section of the company. Like they will approve. If they approve it, they'll put it on the front page of BuzzFeed, just like their actual writers' articles would go up. They started doing pretty well, and people noticed that I'm writing a lot in a very short amount of time. And so someone reached out to me from the company and was like, "You should apply for this fellowship," which I hadn't seen that job listed. So I was like,
nice.
All right,
awesome.
cool. So, and they knew I did not currently live in New York, but they were like, that's fine. So I did like a Skype interview. This was around Christmas. And a few days before that Christmas, I found out I got the job.
And what year was this?
2014.
Very
because I
cool.
moved in 2015 to New York. So it was like a 4-month fellowship. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so I moved out there, and it was from February to May that I worked there. And I pretty much did the same thing I was doing, but was getting paid for it this time
Right.
as a fellow, and like learned like a lot of different things, especially about photo rights, because like how you should cite things, and
You can't just throw up a photo on your article.
no, and
without
not
giving
everybody
credit.
still seems to know that. But I had like proper
Trust me,
training.
we found that out.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
yes.
we here found that out. Yeah, go
I
ahead.
bet you did. And I didn't interview anybody when I was there. That wasn't really a thing fellows got to do, but I did get to sit in on some cool, like when other people were interviewing. And one of them was like R.L. Stein. He was talking about his new Goosebumps or Fear Street book at the time, which was pretty cool because I loved Goosebumps. So I was kind of watching how that person interviewed people. And then, so that fellowship ended in May. I was like looking for another job because I didn't have any other openings at BuzzFeed or anything. And so I found like a internship at Time Inc. And I was there for like a month before I got the MTV job, which I had applied for. And it was like extended because I do all these like writing tests and kind of stuff. And that was just like an entertainment writer.
So this is basically what I want to stress to people. Now, how old were you when you got this job?
I was 23, 24.
How old are you now?
I am about to be 27.
That's amazing. So see right there, a lot of people say, oh, it's too hard to get into the business. It's too hard to do this. Oh, it'll never happen for me. And you're a girl from Texas getting a job in New York through the internet, but and basically based on hard work, you got that little insight into that fellowship and just took it and ran with it like that. So I love those opportunities when they come up because we're all about here on Speech Bubble, we're all about opportunity. Am I right, Jace?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Look at that. Exactly.
That's our motto.
But it's cool. But seizing the opportunity and moving forward with it, that's a very cool, inspirational story. So we were connected through that because you were writing articles about Fairly OddParents and all the silly things that I've done. But it was very kind of you to do that stuff. So we started
I love the show. So and it helps if you write things if you know what you're talking about.
That's true. Because I would read the articles going, oh, she's actually seen the show. That's good. That does help.
So MTV was a perfect fit for you.
It was great. I was there for about 2 years. And they knew that this was my passion and it was doing well with like traffic and like getting good numbers articles. So they're kind of like, we're just going to let her do her thing. So I pitched something, and my editor, he didn't watch any of the stuff. He was like my age, but it just wasn't on his radar. And he had no clue what I was talking about the entire 2 years. But he was he's like, it's doing well. We trust you. Just go for it.
And there you go. I love bosses who know exactly what they're talking about. Isn't that great?
So,
don't make a joke about me, by the way. I know.
I know exactly
what I'm talking talking about.
I saw something in
exactly.
your eye twitch.
Yeah,
So.
I can see it.
Why are
Yeah,
you
we
putting
can,
me at-
he's got a
sorry.
he's got a
Help
shifty
me.
look about him, doesn't
Help me
he?
out, Stacey.
We haven't known each other long enough yet. I
okay,
feel like
that's
there's no
true.
loyalty yet.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah,
But you
easy,
did know what
Jace.
Fairly Odd Parents was, right? Your boss?
Yes, he did. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
well, he
one
was
there
my
you go.
editor, so he wasn't like my high
Oh,
boss.
okay.
But
Well,
yeah.
that's good. That's good. So no, you're not with MTV anymore.
No.
You left MTV because they
Yes.
were jerks,
Oh,
or why?
let's get some dirt on MTV.
No,
Woo!
I didn't say that.
Little drama.
No, you just left because you were far more valuable than
There you go.
than they were paying you, right?
We will go with that. Yes.
That's what and I said it, by the way. She did not say
There
it.
you go.
Yes.
Good. So and you work at 17.com now.
I do. I started there in August of 2017, and I've been there
Cool.
ever since.
And still writing.
Yes. I now manage our Snapchat. Like for 17.com, our Snapchat, we have like it's like a mini magazine that goes up every single day now.
So you post on Snapchat for these guys every day.
Yes.
It's
and
Snapchat Discover?
Yeah,
I think
Snapchat
that's
Discover.
awesome.
I also write stuff for our site, like I did at MTV as
So
well.
you're the one who does Snapchat for 17 magazine.
Yes, I'll manage like our design and animation team, and I'll decide like we should do this lineup and this should go here, and if they design animation goes and like makes it look amazing,
Wow.
and like if we'll have edits and like we should move this here or there's a typo here. And we're like working pretty far in advance because you're publishing something every single day, and our team is really, really tiny. So
I was doing Snapchat for quite a while, and I just haven't been on it for just a little bit. But my audience on there is a much younger audience. Is it mostly super young people on Snapchat?
we're
Any
learning
older
that
people at all?
more because I've always written for people who are around my age, a little bit younger, but who grew up with the same shows I do.
Right.
Which for the site for 17 site, that's usually pretty much the case. But for Snapchat, we're still kind of trying to figure that out. It's kind of fluctuating.
Do you like doing the Snapchat stuff?
I do.
Do you guys get a lot of response off of that?
We do actually. We've been up since we finally launched the Snapchat in I believe September 2017. So it's finally been about a year. And 17's owned by Hearst, so there's like several other brands that are also on Snapchat. So we're
Right.
kind of like the babies of it.
The sad thing about Snapchat is they're the ones who started the stories,
Oh, yeah.
disappearing in 24 hours. All the posting of the little emojis they can animate and stuff, and then everybody ripped them off.
Yeah,
Like-
I
like
did. I felt really bad for him.
Instagram and Facebook both took their thing. I mean, and it's like, oh my gosh, but it was our thing. You know, but they started it. But I guess that's it. In this day and age, you got to really keep up with the technology. You got to really keep up with the changing trends. Snapchat's kind of keeping up, though, isn't it? Snapchat.
They're the only ones who are doing the Discover thing, to my knowledge. Like I know Instagram's not doing
They're
partnering
not.
with brands,
Yeah.
and so this is just another way for us to reach a wider audience or connect more like where they're living because our audience is not really on Facebook because they're just so much younger.
Yeah, exactly.
and
Do you
so-
find that like the posting stuff takes all day? Like, does it take most of your day to do that?
Yes, for the most, and especially when I have to go through and like edit and like kind of look over everything at a fine tooth comb. And also sometimes it's like, should we have done this? And it's like, am I justified in asking animation to change this? Like, is that going to waste their time? Or,
Right.
because we always have to kind of keep moving forward, especially with the holidays coming up. And everybody's going to be gone. Our team's already so tiny.
So what's
Right.
the differences on your end between like 17.com and Snapchat? Like posting do you do the same articles for both?
We
How's that
try
work?
to just
Okay.
to like so it has more legs and lives longer. There are a couple articles we've done just for Snapchat, just because it didn't really work for the site, either for like SEO or like any of that stuff. And so it was just kind of more Snapchat central. But we try to, since they're only up for a day. Although you can like look at our archive on Snapchat, we try to make sure it can live as long as
Oh, I see. That's
possible.
cool.
So now your work day, is it like a 10-hour work day, 5 hour? Do you work from home or do you go to an office?
No, I go into the office
in New York.
Yes, in New York, in like the Columbus Circle area.
So it's like you in a subway, hand in the strap, you know?
Yep.
Casey Neistat driving past on
Casey
a
Neistat,
board.
Spider-Man swings overhead.
Exactly.
All the New York stuff.
Yes,
Exactly.
yes. The Times Square Pikachu, all
There
that.
we go.
So
Is Naked Cowboy still there?
he is.
Naked
Oh,
Cowboy
good.
still
I
there?
haven't
Good.
seen him in a while,
I
but
was
I
scared
have
there for a
seen him.
second.
That guy's
yeah.
in amazing shape.
Yeah.
The guy's in unbelievable shape.
I wish I like had his confidence to just go out and do his thing.
But he's
Like,
out there like in 30 below weather.
Yes.
Which I don't understand.
and he doesn't seem like he gets cold.
No,
so
I know. So I
that's-
think he's an alien.
Yeah.
Maybe? Okay.
Yeah.
Possibly.
And so you go into the office, very cool experience.
Yes.
Right? It's like Devil Wears Prada. You walk in, it's like all like very Manhattan looking.
Well, like there's the Hearst Tower, which is beautiful, which is where we used to work in, and then I guess everything got too big, so people still work there, but they moved us to like around the corner, so another smaller building.
Got it.
Which isn't as like, illustrious as the Hearst Tower.
Right.
But I actually like that building better. It's a lot more chill and
Very Google inside.
kind of, yeah. And like we have a huge like cafe area that's just very relaxing. Like if we have celebs come in, they always like want to sit there. And
So you paid for all that college just to get to that cafe.
exactly.
Nice.
There you go, boom.
Smart.
And our desks, like if you click the button, they rise and like this can be a standing desk. The
Right.
tower does
Does
not
this
have
button
those.
rise?
So
Does this
robots?
desk rise up, Jace? Does this desk
It
rise?
can if I get underneath it.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Jace, I demanded a rising desk. And
I
said,
can.
"Dude."
It's manually.
I was gonna say, get
to
on,
person
Jace,
underneath.
get under the desk and lift it up.
That's really the secret of our desk.
That's what it is.
Thanks for breaking that.
So,
great.
like, would you like recommend your path to other people? Like, do you think that was that a path specifically designed for you, or is like, do you think any kid your age who like really has a good work ethic can do the same thing?
I would say a little bit of both, because you really have to want it, and you have to just like I didn't know anybody in the industry, which is something I'm just like kind of really proud of. Like it's great if you have connections to get you all these jobs, but any job I've gotten, I didn't know anybody. It was just because of on my work.
It's because it was based on your work. That's exactly what happened with me. I mean,
Right.
I got all the jobs I got because I could do the job necessary. Once I started getting more of a reputation, like, oh, he can do this job or that, then people can just call you up. Like there came a time in my art career I didn't need a portfolio anymore because people already knew what your work was.
Right.
And then once I created a show that people knew, that made things a little bit easier. But still, I had to, every time I pitched a show, I had to make sure that, I still had to go through the same hoops I went through before. It was easier to get a meeting. Is it easier for you to get meetings now? Like people know what you've done?
Well, it's kind of cool because I've interviewed some people, and then they sort of remember me, or they like follow me on Twitter because they know I'm like a fan, and I'm not.
I follow you on Twitter.
You do?
Just
Yes.
saying.
Yes.
And by the way, if this podcast goes well, I will continue to follow you on
Oh,
Twitter.
good,
Yeah, just
good.
make sure.
I will share it on Twitter. You have a little bit more followers than I do.
Yeah, you never know.
But yeah, and so I think like I basically feel like I made my career off of my passion for like Nickelodeon Disney channels, like
Yeah.
classic, and
Yeah.
that was like not something that just everybody walking through the door is going to have. And thank God other people cared about it too, besides
Yeah,
just
for
me.
sure.
So I can still like cover the topics. It's interesting because sometimes like 17, some stuff, if it's like that some of the DComs, the Disney Channel original movies that were like in the 90s might be a little too old for
DCom.
them.
Did
Do you know any DComs? Have you heard
Disney
what DCom
Channel
do you know,
original
Butch?
movies? What's the one about the guys who the Minutemen? What's that one?
It's called
Minutemen.
it's called
I know
Minutemen.
that one.
Yes.
That's
a great one.
Yes,
That's
it
good.
is. That's a
Yeah.
little bit newer
And there's
one.
one-
but-
Guy from Corey in the House. Yeah,
There you go. And there's
Jason Dolly.
Yes.
there's a medieval one where they
Oh,
go back
I think it's
in time.
Cloud 9.
Might be. I'm not really sure.
That
Is it
one's
Cloud
a little bit
9?
newer. I'm
That's
pretty
a newer one with snowboarding. Cloud9.
No, not Cloud 9. Oh,
There's a
Avalon
medieval-
High.
That's the
it.
one.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the
that
one.
sounds
Gotcha.
familiar.
So,
I don't think
so,
I saw
I'm a
so
fake
how do I
fan,
put
sorry.
this? Pipe down, Jace. I know a couple. All right, know a
You just
couple.
put me in my place.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's right. So I was out paying bills, Jason. You're watching all the DComs, okay?
pretty great. They're pretty
watching
great.
some DComs. I like the DCom. That's cool.
Yeah,
What
like
are your
high-
favorite DComs?
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
I love Halloween Town.
Okay.
1, 2, and 3, not 4. And
Oh, wait.
yeah.
Doesn't 4 not have like the main cast in it?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it hasn't had they recast the main star.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Disney
like
did.
growing up with Gilligan's Island when they did a Gilligan's Island. I watched Gilligan's Island my whole life, and then they made a Gilligan's Island movie like when I was older.
that doesn't-
And
that
then
does not count.
And then Ginger wouldn't do it. They had to get a
Oh,
new
yeah.
Ginger in there. And like,
No.
really? No,
You do
no,
it
no.
without Ginger. I'm out.
Was the
Yeah,
movie
exactly.
to get them off the island? Because
Yes.
the TV show they never got
Yeah.
off.
No, but then the movie was Escape from Gilligan's Island. It was a
Okay.
huge, massive hit.
Right.
They get off the island, then end up right back on it at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see, they can. It's like Lost. It's like the show Lost. They can never get off the island. So again,
High School Musical?
Yeah, I love High
Oh,
School
I could have
Musical.
named that. I
didn't get-
I
But
could have named it.
But did you know the third one is not a DCOM? That's another thing
Oh,
I
'cause
like.
it's a-
What is
stress.
this? What is the third one?
It's just like a Disney.
It was wide released on
Yeah.
my birthday 10 years
Oh,
ago.
nice.
Stop it.
In a couple days.
Isn't
yes.
your birthday coming up?
Yes,
You
it's
said a
Wed-
couple
it
days.
is- yes, it's Wednesday, October 24th.
So you're saying that your birthday and High School Musical
3, High School Musical 3.
3 are the same? Like you guys are born the same.
So
day.
what do you celebrate on
Yes.
that day? Do you celebrate your birthday or High School Musical? Which one takes
I
precedence?
came before High School Musical, so
True.
I'm gonna celebrate.
Okay, smart.
me.
I would go with
But
that.
one
too.
of my good friends is also born on the same day as me, so I guess I can celebrate him too.
Nice.
So.
All right, we'll take that.
Have you danced with Zac Efron though? I think is everybody's question. That's the question on everyone. Am I right?
Yeah,
Wouldn't that
'cause
be a
everyone
lo-
has.
Wouldn't
Most
it be a
people have.
wouldn't it be a logical question?
No, I have not. Sadly,
Did you cry in High School Musical 3?
no. But at the time,
Well, I did. Okay, continue. What
Why
other? What
wasn't
other?
it? Wait, why wasn't
what
it a decom? Why wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I think they thought they could make more money from it. To be honest,
Was it
And
like a theatrical?
Oh,
It
yeah,
was a
when-
wide
when
release, yeah.
movies.
Because
Oh,
the
that's
guy I was dating at the time, it was my birthday, so I got to pick the movie, and I made him go see that.
Nice.
The guy you were dating at the time.
At the time, yes.
Do we get to know anything about this guy? Do you get to reveal secrets
Oh, this
about
is
him?
a high school. He's happily married now.
I don't.
So.
Well, I don't care. What's his name? I want to know his name.
We knew we needed his address,
Is
his phone number, social
was
security
his name
number.
Troy?
Oh,
It was not,
Just-
sadly.
See what I did?
Nice reference.
See,
2 points for
I
Butch.
had 2 daughters who you said the name right. That's right. Good. You didn't mess up the name that time.
I wasn't even close. Butch. Okay. And what
I am one vowel away from the worst name of all time. That's all I'm saying.
true.
Oh,
I really am.
that
It's
is
true. It's
true.
really true. It's bad. So anyway, moving on with you. Now I've got your. The other day I said, "Hey Stacey, send me some talking points," and Stacey sends me like a novel of text. Where is it? Hold on, my face. Thank God I have the face
While
ID
you're
on
looking
my
it up,
phone.
what other DComs? Let's keep talking about this.
I love the Scream Team, which is, in my opinion, the most underrated DCOM ever because
What is
people
it?
give me that look and they don't understand. Came out in 2002.
Scream Team?
Yeah,
I
the
don't even
Scream
heard of it.
Team. It's with Eric Idle and the guy who voiced the dad from the Proud Family, I think. And it's like Kat Dennings before she was
Okay.
famous. It's like 2 kids and their grandfather died, and then they found out his like soul's like stuck, and these ghosts are trying to catch it. And
You know what's weird? That's the exact story of my childhood. It's the same exact
Did
story.
they buy your...
Did you get
Yeah,
royalties?
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
now. I'm
Okay.
gonna
You better
now.
sue 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's called Hartman Halloween. That's what it's called.
Wow.
That's
Like the alliteration.
No, it's
Yep.
not. No, we're changing the name. That's amazing how my life echoes that story. Exactly. Okay, so I've got your talking points here. It says here you love capital letters. Love Drake and Josh.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Do you know that Drake Bell sat in that exact seat
Oh,
you're
yeah, that's
sitting in right
right.
there? That exact
I
seat.
have met Drake Bell.
Drake
Oh, you
Bell,
have?
yes.
Oh, yeah. So have you interviewed him for...
I only
for
say
Alex
that so
Woodward?
people know he's a friend of mine. That's all
Yeah.
I want
That's
you to know.
right, that's
Drake
right.
is a friend
He
of
was
mine.
in the Fairly Odd Parents live action movie.
All 3
so,
of them. Yeah,
yes.
that's how we met me and Drake.
So yes,
Exactly.
you're connected. I was not doing the interview, but my coworker was doing the interview, and she knew I loved Drake Bell, so he was like doing a video with us, and then she was doing a sit down interview. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna just get in on that. And
Yeah.
just,
Was he
like,
wearing,
stand
was he
there.
wearing Gucci? He wears a lot
He
of
was.
Gucci.
It was
Yes.
all Gucci. Everyone in
was
the
all
office was
Gucci.
like, "This is amazing." And so he like filmed a little video with us, which was really cute. And then he was doing the interview. And the interview was he was on some MTV show. And then
Stop interrupting, Jason.
And then I like kind of just sort of kept getting closer because I just felt awkward because I was standing there, but I was like, "This is my moment, so we're going for it." And so then I kind of was like, and my coworker doing the interview didn't really know Drake and Josh, so I was like, "This is my time." And so I like jump in, and so like I asked him a question, and then he and I are kind of like talking, and then he said. He said he made like a reference to an obscure reference to an episode, and I was like, "Was that episode The Storm?" I knew it was, but I was
Nice.
being polite and asking.
Sure.
He's like, "You are a fan," and then he's like, "What's your name?" And I said it, and I was like, "Oh, it's Stacy." And then before I could finish it, he knew who I was.
You fainted.
Oh.
You fainted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Woke
but,
up 2 hours later.
But then he was like, "Stacy," and then and so he. Like, cause we follow each other on Twitter, but we like don't talk or anything.
Sure.
But I had written so many articles about him, and when he was doing like the "Where's Walter," like kind of bringing
yeah.
back the Drake and Josh
he
thing.
knew it was you from the name Stacey.
I think because when you
see.
write like 12,000 articles, I think you're gonna
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
And so that was like, so then we just started talking about Drake and Josh, and that was, oh my god, that was the best day of my life.
I thought this was the best day of your life.
Yeah, it is.
I was told that when you walked in.
Up until this, like it was
This
like-
is
and
the best day.
Yeah.
Makes
Okay.
sense. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
Jace, you said this would be the best day of your life. Now,
Yeah,
what have
yeah,
you
yeah.
done wrong?
No,
What did
no,
you?
it is now.
How did you mess this up?
It's now. Like, what time is it?
I
Yeah,
always-
now it's the best
I
day.
Jace
always-
didn't know what the Scream
Yeah.
Team was for decon, so like
Yeah, I
that's
kinda
it's
put
his
it-
fault.
I
So
always
It's my
come in
fault. It went a
second to
little-
Drake Bell. I
See,
just
here's the
feel bad.
thing: Drake and Josh or Jason Butch. I mean,
Boom. That's what I'm
come on,
saying.
That's pretty
we
good.
make a
I mean,
really-
excuse me, Butch and Jace.
Thank
Sorry.
you
Hey,
very
what
much.
is the
Thank
commercial
you.
that the girl's like, why not both or whatever?
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
doing it.
Wham! Thank
Yeah.
you very much. So you love Drake and
I
Josh.
enjoy the pop culture. So.
What, do you have
The
a
pop
favorite
culture.
episode of Drake and Josh? Jerry Trainer's out of his mind too. You know that.
I know,
He's
yeah.
also
Yeah,
a friend
Crazy
of mine.
Steve.
Yes.
But
Best
out of his
characters.
mind.
I love the episode The Demonator when they go on
Oh,
the
yeah.
roller coaster
Classic.
and then like Papa Nichols and he's like this bizarre great grandfather and yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's great.
That's when I first saw Jerry as Crazy Steve.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the map, Dora, not me.
That is the-
Screaming at the TV.
That is the best line.
Because my daughters used to watch that show, and I was like, "This is really a funny show,"
Mm-hmm.
I was very happy when I saw it.
And it still holds up too. Like
Oh,
every other
totally.
kid show I've watched recently, like back when I was a kid, they're not good except for Drake and Josh. It's still hilarious.
Well, you know he wrote some kid shows. He's
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah.
What?
Mine hold
No,
up. Mine hold up.
I meant
Do
live
mine hold
action.
up? Do you see what happens here in the podcast?
Why do you put up with
It's-
this?
No,
I want-
it's
I want-
no.
Stacey, I need
Everybody
her
knows
on this podcast.
Everybody knows.
Surprise, I'm actually here to take your job.
Everyone knows I only watch cartoons, and so that's warranted that I like every cartoon.
That's right.
But live action shows, it's iffy for me.
That's right. You're defending yourself very well. Look how he's really upset. He's really upset. Don't upset it, but it's not. But But you're doing well, Jace. You're doing well.
Yeah.
Straight vodka, once again. Straight
Oh boy,
vodka.
I'm back. Okay.
So you love
Drake and Josh.
You like all the Dan Schneider shows.
Yes.
Say Dan Schneider shows.
Dan Schneider shows, Dan Schneider shows, Dan Schneider shows.
Fast.
Like
Can't do
Keenan
it.
Kel was like one of my first shows I ever fell in love with.
iCarly, did you like iCarly?
Yeah, I did like iCarly.
iCarly's
Yes,
good,
the first
yeah.
person I ever interviewed in person was Nathan Gress.
Oh, there you
actually.
go.
Yeah, so that was really fun.
Nice boy.
And he had just gotten married at that point.
He's
So,
married?
Ooh.
and he has a little girl.
He's a dad? He's
a
Papa
dad.
Cress now?
And he's Papa
I didn't
Chris.
even know about that.
His little girl
Wow.
is so cute. When he was like share photos on Instagram.
Oh,
so
that's very cute.
yeah.
That's
so
great.
and I love the Amanda Show, which like Drake
awesome.
and Josh were
Amanda
all
Show,
on.
yes,
The
absolutely.
origin of everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't realize back then when I was at Nickelodeon at the time, I was so focused on making my cartoons that obviously you're aware all these other shows are going on, but we don't really realize till we get out of it that you're really in an awesome time period where all these, because Nickelodeon isn't doing that kind of stuff anymore. Like the creative spark has kind of changed over there. I'm not knocking it, but it always changes at every place. So it was really exciting to be there at that time. I'm glad you and both of you actually watched the stuff we did growing up because it makes us excited going, oh, people actually saw the stuff we did,
Well, and some of it I've watched for work because Victorious came out when I was in college, so I was kind of busy, which is also another Dan Schneider show. But I would write all these articles about it, and I was kind of like, I should probably watch the show since I seemed to, and I loved that show. That was a fantastic show.
Yep.
And then when I interviewed a couple people from the cast, I was like, now I actually can talk a little bit more in detail. So didn't feel like I was being like a fake fan or something.
Very cool. So what is the the goal for you from this point on? You're 27 years old. You're working in New York for 17.
Yes.
Do you want to become like the editor of 17? You want to move on from there? Everything you're doing is pretty much online.
Do you want to
right now,
reboot
right?
Drake and Josh yourself?
Always.
Yeah,
I will help
totally.
David Dobrik.
There you
Yes,
go.
yes, he's doing it.
Does
Basically,
Dobrik want to do it?
Well, he's
doing
basically
the Lord's
rebooting it
work.
himself on his YouTube channel.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
reuniting the entire cast. It's
Oh,
great.
wow.
Yeah, yeah.
He's working on trying to get Oprah and Josh
That would be-
for years.
That would be perfect.
apparently,
Do you know about
but-
that?
No, I don't know about that.
You got to explain.
Okay,
Tell me.
so a big running joke on Drake and Josh is Josh's character loves Oprah,
Right.
loves Oprah.
Oprah!
And it makes no sense, but it's perfect. Actually, for
They just
Oprah's
love yelling the name Oprah.
exactly, yes, and
This
all
is
the
a great
gags
word
are
to
just.
yell.
And there's an episode where he actually
likes
runs
yelling
her
everything.
over with a car.
He what?
There's an episode he accidentally runs her over with a car.
Oh God.
And you have like a stunt double who looks like Oprah from the back.
Yeah,
That's great.
just like flying across the hood. But yeah, so.
So he's
That'd be
so
perfect.
Dobrik is redoing this on his YouTube channel.
Well, he's like he got Miranda Cosgrove recently to like surprise Josh because they hadn't seen each other in 5 years. So it's like
Yeah, David and Josh Peck are really good friends.
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
they're
yeah, I
like
heard- I
besties.
do know that.
So
I do know that.
and so he kind of he didn't orchestrate with Helen though, right? That was more that
No,
was
that's on
Josh
Josh's channel.
with
Yeah,
with
yeah.
his podcast. Yeah.
No, he can't really get the rights to the show. He's just kind of doing. His
No,
own
he's just,
version of
like,
Drake and
reading
Josh.
Yeah, and they're not like
Yeah.
they're like
Got
not
it,
doing
got
like
it.
episodes. It's just like filming them hanging out and
We
everyone
should,
freaks
get
out.
we should get a cast of one of my shows back together on the channel. What should we do? Like a Danny Phantom reboot? Like a Danny
Yeah.
Phantom?
Yeah.
Just get the cast in?
that'd
Because
be cool.
I do have a Danny Phantom movie script. No one knows about it.
Now they do.
Maybe we should.
Now they do.
Oh, now they do.
Wait a minute, this is airing somewhere?
Well, I'm just saying. I'm not saying what the movie's about, but I mean, we can maybe.
Well, it's about Danny Phantom.
It's about
just
well,
said what it's about.
It is about Danny Phantom.
Okay, so
but
you know it's
but
about.
we don't know what the story.
Okay, I have a question about Danny Phantom.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
coworker also wanted me to ask because
Yes.
she loves Danny Phantom.
Yes.
Now the lyrics, the song lyrics, it's not "Yo Danny Phantom," right?
Jace, would you like to answer this question?
It is young.
Okay,
Yes.
see that's what
It
I.
is
Wait,
young.
what'd you think it was?
Well, I thought it was Yo, and she
Yeah,
thought it was Yo,
I did
and
too.
then she said you tweeted and said no, it's
Oh,
young.
it's young. It's
so,
always been young because I wrote the song. So I
Right,
know
yeah,
it's-
so you would
it's
know.
young Danny Fenton.
Right.
He was just 14. Because trust me, I was nowhere near cool enough to go, yo, Danny. I was not. There's no way.
Yeah,
And
that's-
but it freaked people out when I revealed
Right?
that.
Well, yeah,
it blew
That
their mind.
started when I was gonna like put something out on the YouTube channel, like I was like putting the lyrics in a video or
You were
something.
writing lyrics, and I said, "Oh,
So
that's wrong."
I sent it to Butch to look it over to make sure
Mm-hmm.
the video looked good. And he's like, yeah, it looks great. Just change Yo to young. I was like, what do you mean change Yo to? What does that mean? What do you mean change Yo to young? And he's like, it's young Danny Fenton, not. And I'm like, what are you talking
Yeah.
about?
Jace's head exploded.
And then
Exactly.
I was like, we have to tell the world.
Yes.
And then people
we must
freaked out.
tell the world. I
because no
said,
one knew.
Yeah, it's freaking.
Well, it's like with the Drake and Josh theme song. It's not realize, it's realign. And when he said that, everybody freaked
I know,
out.
I heard that. And I'm like, now I don't remember
It's
what I
gonna
thought it
take
was.
some
time
time
to
to realign.
I
Yeah.
think I knew it was realign. Did you know or no?
Not
Did you think it was- I
till
think
someone
I knew it was.
tweeted it and he was like, it's realign.
Yeah.
I was like, oh dear.
I saw a
We
video of a
must
concert.
understand that the Butch Hartman revelation of Yo is far cooler than the Drake Bell realization.
true.
Of course.
Realign.
I think
Yes.
Drake.
But am I right?
I think Drake was like, oh, look how cool Butch is with his
Yeah,
realization. He's
obviously.
like, I'll make up a realization. It's actually
Obviously.
realigned.
Yes.
Haha,
Right.
got you guys.
Okay, that's my buddy Drake right there. I'm looking out for
In the
him.
Gucci pants.
Just trying. I'm trying to keep his ego down.
He's gonna get a
Good.
strongly worded text message later. So.
I think so. I'm gonna have you write it because you write really long ones.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna have you write.
I'll write a novel, War and Peace Part 2.
We
so.
never got to the goal. We were like talking about the goal.
Oh, yeah.
like
Oh, okay.
Your goal.
That is a great question to ask.
What do you like? 10 years from now, I meet Stacey Grant. You're in your limo. You've got like the whole entourage.
Yeah.
People, you've been through the ups and downs of showbiz by that point. So what is the goal?
That is, I honestly am
It's
not,
okay if you don't have an answer.
I'm not sure. I still love writing, so
You wrote a
something with
screenplay.
writing.
You want to do like write
yeah,
a movie?
and maybe it was a movie, the screenplay. My college didn't focus on television writing, so I kind of would like to see if I could even do that.
There's a challenge in that because it's a weekly thing. It's
Exactly,
getting those scripts done on time, in a timely fashion. But that's, I think you're
and
up
the
to the
turnaround
challenge.
is much faster for
Absolutely.
it. So
you get to do 10 stories a month as opposed to one story every 5 years when writing.
Right. So I would love to do that. I'd still love to just talk about my nostalgia things till people are done with it. And it's
And as you get older, there'll be
expand
more
on that.
nostalgia.
Exactly,
You know,
yes.
It all just keeps piling up.
and I try to keep up with a little bit what's like going on now, just because that will be nostalgia. So it's like kind of like job
Yeah,
security to
got
make
it.
sure.
Got
Because
it.
I actually do love Raven's Home, which is the Raven.
Oh, yeah.
That's a Raven sequel.
I've seen a couple of those.
Spinoff. I mean, it's actually really cute.
Yeah.
I really like it. And so
Is that So Raven spinoff?
Yeah.
they're in their
Is it
second
not-
season now.
Really?
Yes, and it's like they brought back that Raven and Chelsea, and then it's like they're raising their kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then occasionally they'll get kind of like guest stars from that. So Raven appear. I know that's definitely the plan, and I think it's just well written. It's just smart.
Yeah.
It's a smart spinoff.
As a writer, you recognize that sort of thing, that sort of quality. I have a question for you. Doing the 17 stuff that you do, are
Yes.
you constantly waking up every morning going, what am I going to write about today?
That was
what's
me at
my
MTV.
story today? MTV.
Yes, I would wake up early.
Because that's the biggest challenge.
And what a lot of people seem to do is kind of like see, oh, what's trending, and it's like, should I just kind of write that up? And I really just don't like doing that because it's like I want to find it and be the first one to write it. So I will like stalk.
Welcome to the reporting world. Everybody,
Yes.
I want that scoop.
Well, and I didn't major in journalism, so I'm kind of just like winging it. And but I will comb through like everybody's Instagram, and a lot of people, like maybe not the most well-known people, but people who were still on the show and have a lot to say that no one's really listening to. And usually that's what I find, like maybe more secondary characters.
Who's an example of that?
That is like on Victorious, there's like everyone always focuses on like Victoria Justice or Ariana Grande. Well, I'm looking at the other kids in there who aren't
St. John?
secondary characters, but you know what I mean. Yeah, St. John, I do. Yeah. And so I will look at them and see what they're posting, what they're doing, and I write. It's not just about like their time on the show. Like I will cover different whatever they're doing now because I just think that's fascinating.
Screech from Saved by the Bell did something weird again. Something
Right,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Exactly.
Like Matt Bennett, who plays Robbie Shapiro, he does these like really great monologues on YouTube, and some of them are kind of like not safe for work, but that makes them fantastic. And so I wrote that up, and just because I was like, that's so cool, he's doing this, even though it's nothing. I mean, I'll frame it in the headline as like, he's from Victorious to draw people in, but then it's not about his work on Victorious, it's about what he's doing now, and I think people like that because it's like you're not just like put in a box. You did this one thing, and that's the only thing you can do for the rest of your life.
Like when we had Jeremy Rowley from iCarly. He played Looper.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Oh, I know Looper.
Yeah.
I've written many articles about Looper.
Yeah,
Yes.
but he was the voice of Bunsen on Bunsen as a Beast, and I didn't even know who he was when we heard him. He just did a great voice, and then I found all the stuff about him, and I guess he had a really big internet following. People were real excited he was the voice. And
Yeah.
Then he married another girl from iCarly. A girl from iCarly.
I'm the first one who wrote about that.
I was gonna
Thank
say,
you.
I bet you did because I remember that article coming
And then
out.
they had a child, and I wrote that
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
So
His name is Sid.
yes,
Yeah.
His
kid
little
is really
so
cute.
cute.
Sid Rowley, that's his name. Hi, Sid
I love
Rowley
that
here,
name.
Hollywood agent.
Yes.
Sid Rowley. Hey, so the biggest challenge is finding what to write, and is that going on now at 17 Mag with the Snapchat stuff?
Not as much because like we do have like some writers like that is all their job, so we'll take what they wrote and like kind of convert it for Snapchat.
You get to boss people around. I love that. Look at you.
I try to be nice,
I
but they are having us write a little bit more for the site. So like I'm kind of but sometimes they're like, oh, can you cover like kind of this topic? And if I'll look occasionally and see, I'm like, oh, this would be a cool story to write. We should do it because of X, Y, and Z. And they're like, okay, great, do that. So I'm not like waking up every day for like an hour and combing everybody's Twitter. Like I I've made Twitter. Do you know what TweetDeck is?
I don't because I'm uncool. Jace knows what it is.
Love it.
Though.
The
Okay,
best.
so you can make columns and stuff, right? You know,
Sure.
and so
I know of it. I don't really. I'm on your page.
I've asked several people and they don't know what it is.
You
so.
disappoint me, Jace Diehl.
Well, I've heard of it.
I thought you knew
I've
what
heard
it was.
I actually think
I'm
it's
on
kind of
your team.
archaic, so maybe
Yeah.
I'm, but
What is TweetDeck? Explain
It's
to
connected with
those.
Twitter.
Pirate ship made of birds.
Nice.
true.
I like the
Right?
pirate ship made of birds. That's pretty fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's the cooler, the less cool version of
okay.
TweetDeck is
It
like
could fly. It's a flying pirate ship, like
Wow.
Peter Pan.
Exactly.
That's cool. So what does TweetDeck do? It like
It's
organizes tweets and like
yeah,
columns.
it's connected to your Twitter. So if you're like, oh, I like these, like I'll have Disney Channel stars,
Got
and
it.
so
Oh,
I
I see.
like,
Oh,
so
cool.
I just see their tweets, you know,
Oh, okay.
and it'll
It's an
update real
organization
time.
thing
Yeah,
that
so it
I
really
see.
helps kind of like streamline it.
That's great.
And I've found so many.
Like
different
I like
ones.
monkeys, just monkeys.
Exactly.
Boom, any type of monkey.
Any kind of fan account for monkeys.
Any shape of monkey, any type
You could
of
have
monkey.
fat monkeys, skinny monkeys on one column. That's great. Yeah.
That's right.
the
Exactly.
opportunities are endless.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
there you go.
crazy.
It's
For
like-
4 monkeys.
Like on,
Yes.
on Bunsen, we had Bob and Ken, the reporters. It's like, well, for Christmas, I want a flashlight so I can read my comics under the covers, and I want a monkey. I don't care what kind. So yeah, monkeys are cool. So I'm going to tweet deck the monkeys.
Good,
Jace,
you
note
should.
to self: tweet deck the
All right.
monkeys.
Yep.
So who's the most obscure Disney Channel or Nickelodeon star that you keep up with that you can think of? Like one we wouldn't even know. They're like
His
And not in an insulting way, like a
no,
guy.
no,
no.
No, it's like a
somebody.
background character. It's like, oh,
Yes.
I remember that person.
Was there
Yeah.
someone from Even Stevens? Anybody from any of those older shows?
oh yeah, definitely from Even Stevens.
Well, Shia LaBeouf has a lot going on.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, the actor who played the coach, Coach Tugnut on Even Stevens, Jim Wise.
Perfect.
I will like
Great
follow
example.
stuff he's done. I actually got to interview him on the phone and
Oh, yeah?
got all like this. Do you like?
And by the way, they love that though, because people are
Yeah,
actually
it's cool.
paying attention.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
this.
Well, and
They
people
love
want to
that
hear
stuff.
it too, because
yeah, well, and I think they
kind
kind of realized very quickly when they start talking to me that I'm like an actual fan.
Yeah, that's great.
Or a stan, as the kids say, and so yeah, and so I'm just like,
Stan.
and
You know
well,
Stan?
I thought Stacey Grant is a fan. That's what I thought it was.
Oh, it should be.
it should be
I thought that's why I was
Stacey
laughing.
fan.
trademarking that.
Stacey Grant is a fan. Stan. What does
Yeah.
Stan mean?
What is it?
It came
know
from
of
the
it.
Eminem song. It's supposed to mean kind of like stalker and fan, but
Oh, okay.
I describe it to people.
That's
it's like
two things you didn't know. You didn't know the tweet.
No,
deck or Stan.
I know what it means. I just don't know where it came
Hey Victor,
from.
I gotta get a new Jace Diehl in
great.
here. I need to update my Jace Diehl here. Okay,
Update the software.
It's all fine.
I'll
It's
do
all
it. I
fine.
knew
Okay, update the
TweetDeck. I
software,
knew
yeah.
Stan.
You know what? Stacey might just fit the bill here.
Well,
I'm saying she might just be the
yeah,
new
you're
co-host of Speech
right.
Bubble.
You're right.
And you could actually
I'll just
write
sit
fun
back
jokes
here.
here too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
No, Jace has been instrumental in everything we have here. Every single thing.
No, I'm disposable. I know. My parents tell me every
no,
morning.
you are not disposable. You're wonderful. You're a wonderful kid.
Wow.
You're
Wow.
an amazing
Okay. Well,
kid.
perfect.
You're wonderful. Just now, just calm down now.
Okay,
It's all, so, like when you leave here today, you came out to California to visit. Have you been out here before? You said you
Yes.
had, right? And what did you like? What is the first thing you do when you get out here? The first thing you come to California to do
Oh, I wanted
is
Disneyland,
Disneyland.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite thing at Disneyland.
Yes.
the Matterhorn, but it's closed
no.
right
Oh,
now.
that's your
and
favorite, too.
Yeah, it's because it doesn't have a fast pass, so you have to go.
I've never heard someone say the Matterhorn's their favorite.
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
The Matterhorn. Favorite ride.
It's ever since I was a kid.
Wow.
Yeah, I just
Ever
love
since
it.
you had to sit on people's laps to go on.
Right?
It.
Yes, because
That was when it was good.
You know, like the Yeti.
So,
it's,
they let someone sit on their lap, on a kid on
Do you
someone's
remember
lap.
that?
No.
I don't think they do that
you had-
anymore.
the seat was just like a little slope, so you had to sit on somebody's lap.
Oh, I
to be
remember
on
that.
it.
Yeah, you had to
yeah.
sit, you had to sit single file. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I loved that
That's
one.
how you and I met.
That's right.
That's
we both did.
Hey, what's your name?
We both did single rider, and then
Thanks
I was
for
like, Butch Hartman,
Sit in my lap, Jace. Yeah, that was
Memories.
It was a weird Saturday. Anyway,
yeah.
yeah.
and the seatbelt was
So you
weird.
like the Matterhorn?
I love Space Mountain.
Yes.
And
awesome.
well,
So you like mountain rides? That's what I'm getting.
So
Big
Big
Thunder
Thunder Mountain.
Mountain.
There
you
you
like
go.
there's 3
where
mountain
have you
rides.
been all my life?
Splash
You understand
Mountain,
me.
that's
Of
a great
course,
one.
yes.
That was awesome.
Well, and I always
That's there's 4 mountain rides at Disney.
Yeah,
At one
they
park.
defined the lands.
At one park.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, they're built around the mountain rides.
Yeah, basically.
I never thought
yeah,
of that.
Mhm. That's
I
great.
thought they were built around Mickey Mouse in the center of the park. That's what I thought it was like Walt Disney statue.
It is.
all-
You got everything.
Well,
about Disney on one.
Frontierland. Oh, they do have. I was going to say they.
Well, you
do
got Big
have a
Thunder Mountain Road. Yeah, you got. I think you
They-
have four in all.
But they
Yeah, I don't
didn't.
think there's any
They
others.
didn't originally though. The
No.
Big Thunder Mountain came in way late.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
yeah.
So Disneyland. What other parks?
We're also going to do the California Adventure because I've never been there before.
Oh, yeah. It's very
you've never
cool.
been?
No.
Awesome.
It's become way better than
Oh,
it
yeah,
was.
definitely.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it
And
used
then
to be the Disneyland parking lot. That's what it was.
Yeah.
because I remember when they built it, and I don't know why we never went. But
Yeah, yeah.
And people used to treat it as the parking lot when it was built because it wasn't that great.
It wasn't that cool.
Yeah, but now it's awesome.
Okay.
So like any urge to work for Disney or like a big studio, like do you want to like write cartoons or animation or TV shows? We talked about that before.
Yeah, I would like to. I've never done it before, so I could just suck. So who can say?
I doubt that.
But
I doubt that highly.
yeah, I would love to do that. And I feel because I deal with so many like kind of reps. So Nickelodeon, Disney, they all like know, oh, she's a fan. Like if they have something
perfect.
to pitch, and sometimes it works for our audience, sometimes it doesn't. But so it's kind of nice to have those people and kind of know that like I know what I'm talking about. So it's always good to have those kind of connections. You
Yeah,
never
for
know
sure.
how it would help down the road.
Well, plus, like, when you say, hey, I'm Stacey Grant with 17.com. Oh, yes, let's pay attention to Stacey Grant. She might write nice things about us. I have to ask you a question. Did you ever write something, and you have to answer this if you don't want to. Did you ever write something not so nice about somebody? No, don't say who it was, but was there ever like...
if she wrote it, it's out there. So
a non-favorable like thing about something that's that like a review of
anything
something.
that had to be retracted, like the celebrity's like, take that down. I don't want that out there.
Yeah, and again, we can always edit whatever out. We really won't edit it out, but we could say we'll edit it out. We'll edit it out. We're not going to edit it out.
No.
But yeah, we could.
I don't think no one's told me anything to like retract. I usually just because I really don't think that's a boring answer. I really don't think I've written anything negative.
Any political writing? You ever want to get into that?
No, I'm not the person
No,
for
it's
that.
Because your soul would change.
You don't want
completely.
Yes.
You don't want to write political
I write the-
nostalgia.
I write the
You can
fun
write about
kind
Ronald
of
Reagan and
right.
stuff.
Yes,
Yeah.
I write the fun kind of news.
Yeah,
Let's keep it that way,
Yeah.
shall we? Yeah, there's so much
Exactly.
news. I think journalism these days has become, and this goes for both sides of anything. I think it's become just destroying people as opposed to delivering stories. It's really been
Right.
hard to listen to a lot of things out there
Oh, yeah.
anymore. It's just wow, man. Everybody just is very angry all
Things
the
are
time.
just getting worse.
Yeah,
That
that's why
seems to be
writing
the
about
vibe, yeah.
nostalgia makes everybody happy. It's
Yeah,
great.
because
It's
it
a
made
good-
me
great-
happy when I watched as a kid.
Yeah.
Actually makes you sad. Like, why isn't it like this anymore?
Yeah, kinda,
You're being
yeah.
dragged away. Wait, yeah,
Drake and Josh.
yeah, Drake and Josh. Why aren't they kids
Why did
anymore?
the house get torn down?
Exactly. So I got a couple personal questions for Stacey Grant.
Okay.
Now, is there a Mr. Stacey Grant?
There is not.
No Mr. Stacey Grant?
No.
Wow. Okay. Did you ever do? What about Jace? You think you and Jace maybe
I like
later
Jace.
on?
I knew
Jace
that
is
was
cool.
coming.
Yep.
Jace, a nice kid.
Let's do it.
There you go.
You can drink. You're old enough.
That's
to drink.
right.
You can drink.
Check it out.
He's drinking
Woo!
water. So no plans to get married in the near future.
Oh heavens no.
Okay. Wow. Oh, look at the adamantly. Yeah,
I
well,
like
yeah.
want to build my
Heck
career
no.
before. It's
Got
great
it.
if people
Sure,
have
let's go.
that. That's just not the path I
Not
want
for
right
you,
now.
right.
So
You plan to stay in New York for a long time?
yes, I love it. I feel
Ooh.
so stranded here. Like
I don't know if this is gonna work out. I'm here. I'm in LA.
You're in
I don't know
yeah.
how relationships
Well,
go.
He's only allowed to be out of the house like before the sun goes
I got a
down. He's
curfew.
gotta get out.
absence
Yeah.
makes the heart grow fonder.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Maybe this will work.
Spoken
We'll
like a
see.
true writer, by the way.
That's right.
well done. Anything you want to leave our audience with as far as like what can we look forward to in the future? Anything upcoming that you want to talk about or plug or anything like that? Because we here at Speech Bubble, we want our 10 listeners to know what's going on.
Yes.
So
Well, I did just write a book. It's not like a book. It's not like a Stephen King book, but it's the Hey Arnold Guide to Relationships.
it's called the Hey Arnold Guide to Relationships.
It was DK Publishing, partner with Nickelodeon.
not the Fairly Odd Parent Guide to Relationships.
That was not an option. They said
Oh.
because someone else wrote Rugrats Guide to Adulting.
Got it.
And they asked when they came to me, they're like, "Oh, would you rather write about Hey Arnold or Rugrats?" And I just picked Hey Arnold.
I understand.
I loved both, but
Got it.
I'm sorry, Fairly Odd Parents was not an
No,
option. I would have picked that one.
Well, I think Fairly Odd Parents has moved into the nostalgia realm now. I think
Oh,
we've
totally.
actually crossed into the nostalgia realm.
Total,
We've
well,
crossed over.
every time I see like a theory on Reddit, I always message you. I was like, "Is this true? I need to know."
yeah.
And
Feel free to keep doing that.
Yes,
I will
yes.
let you know.
so I just wrote that. I like signed copies for it at New York Comic Con.
Fantastic.
Which was really fun. I was like,
awesome.
what if no one comes? But a lot of people did. And it
People
was
showed
cool.
up. It's
yeah.
kinda fun, right?
It was.
Yeah.
And some people bought I was only there Saturday, Sunday,
Mm.
but Comic Con's, a 4-day thing. Some people bought the book, came back like the next day or whatever just to get it signed.
How long?
That's
How
so
long
cool.
did they line up? Like an hour or two?
There was like not a line. They just came to the booth.
Oh, I got
and
it.
because it wasn't just our booth, because DK had other books they were like promoting
Because
as
people
well.
will stand
but-
in line if they want something signed.
Oh, yeah.
the lines will form.
Yeah.
They will show
Crazy.
up.
Yeah, it was just really fun. It was a cool thing to do and to like talk about.
Super awesome.
And it just shows that's like I'm just like that nerdy Nickelodeon person. So
Cool. Do you want to come back on Speech Bowl and talk about new things in the future? When
most
when
definitely,
you
I would
get-
love to.
What we can
When
do,
you write the Fairly Odd Parents book?
Yes,
Exactly.
when that
Yeah. The
comes
complete
out.
oral history. And
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
That's it. We can even do it live from your New York office. We could Skype you in.
That would
way.
be
So you have to
amazing.
travel all the way out here.
Yeah. Well, okay, we're now in a relationship.
That's right.
Apparently.
Yeah.
So, and
we'll
Disneyland's
work it
here.
out somehow.
That's okay.
Yeah.
As long as you watch Pixar movies, Star Wars, and go to Disneyland, Jace is your man.
Well,
There you go.
I've not really seen Star Wars.
Okay.
What?
Wait a
You
minute.
haven't really?
Wait, really?
Have you seen any of them?
A couple.
Okay,
Well,
which ones?
I didn't.
If I did a Star Wars quiz right now, would you be able to name some characters?
Yeah, well, I guess it would depend
Like
on
Luke Skywalker's
Wait,
father.
which
Who's
ones?
Luke Skywalker's?
It's Darth Vader.
Okay, good. Who is the little droid, the little blue and white
R2D2.
droid?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
you're doing good. You're doing
Which
good.
one have you seen?
Okay, well, like the fourth one, which was the first
Yeah,
one made,
sure.
and then I think the part of the fifth and sixth maybe.
Okay, you saw the
You haven't
original
seen,
ones.
You haven't seen the new ones?
Phantom Menace. Have you seen?
I've seen parts of Phantom Menace.
Force Awakens?
No,
Really?
and not the
Oh.
New Hope something.
Okay.
But
Well,
for
good.
MTV, my coworker and I had never seen Star Wars, so our entertainment editor was like, "That's sacrilegious," and so made us watch it at work. And then we wrote an article about like all the questions we had.
So your boss
Oh,
is your
cool.
boss is Michael Scott, basically.
Pretty
from
much,
the
yeah.
office.
It was
That's good.
such a
That's
cool
all
thing
right.
to do, and then the internet got really mad at us.
What
for
questions did you have?
Well, we kind of we weren't that dumb, but we kind of made it sound like we weren't a little more confused.
Okay.
It was like a couple years ago we wrote it.
Sure.
It was more just to like kind of make people mad. It was kind of fun.
Nice.
So.
Mission accomplished.
Mission
there you go.
accomplished.
Well done.
yes.
There's your controversial article.
Exactly. That's
That
true.
fits
That
in
is
what you
true.
asked. Yeah.
I did write an article that that was for the 10th anniversary of She's the Man, which is one of my
Oh, yeah.
favorite movies
Great
of all
movie.
time. I said it was better than Mean Girls, which is a bold take according to the internet.
I'll go with that.
I've
because
never
I-
seen either movie.
Well, that's a shame.
See only She's the Man.
She's
yeah,
the Man?
It's
that's
very funny.
Yes.
the Man?
I mean, Mean
Hilarious.
Girls is fantastic too, but if I had to pick one,
I hear about Mean Girls
Take that,
all
Tina Fey.
the time. I hear about Mean Girls all the time.
well, and the Broadway show has just been out.
okay.
I got to see that, which was
Nice.
actually really good. Yeah.
Favorite Broadway show you've seen so far in New York?
Oh, The Play That Goes Wrong.
The Play That Goes Wrong.
And
Oh, that's J.J. Abrams, right?
yeah, which
That's
is
cool.
weird
Yeah.
that he produced it because it has nothing to do with sci-fi or anything.
Yeah.
That's just what I said. But yeah, it's these like three guys from Britain. They did their whole show. It's like their troupe. They did it there. J.J. Abrams saw it. Was like, let's bring it over. And it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I've seen it like 4 times. I love the SpongeBob musical, and I'm still very mad at Closed. So I saw
Is
that.
it close to never be seen again?
It's touring, but
Oh,
like
okay.
the theater it's in, like I walked past it and they still have like all the signs, and
Okay.
I'm like, I'm depressed. So
Oh.
Oh,
it was just it was actually kind of woke, which was weird because
What
it was
do you mean?
SpongeBob. Like
In what way?
well, they weren't in costumes, right? There was just a guy in like a yellow shirt, and he was SpongeBob.
yeah,
correct?
the costumes were great because they
Like,
weren't. It
very
wasn't like
minimal.
a box. Like I think that's
Yeah.
what people thought, and it's like
It wasn't
no,
like
no.
it wasn't like a Disneyland costume. Where
No. Like it wasn't distracting or anything. The Squidward costume was amazing because the way that actor would walk, it kind of you couldn't really tell where his actual feet were and where the fake legs were,
Oh,
which
cool.
was kind of neat.
Wait, there's fake
How is
legs.
it woke?
Wait, there's fake legs.
Wait.
Well, he doesn't
Wait,
have
oh,
like
wait,
8
what?
legs.
What?
So
What you
Wait a
told me?
minute.
You told me that there was 8 legs.
Well, there
You're in
are
big
8
trouble,
legs.
Jace.
There are 8 legs, but they're hidden and they're
consider the
Stacey,
source.
I'm sorry
yeah,
about.
yeah,
I'm sorry about. I'm
yeah,
sorry
yeah,
about
yeah.
Yeah.
You should expect that it's not going
Well, look, let's do this again sometime.
Please do.
We have
Thank you
more-
so much for having me.
I'm so glad you were here. Did you have a good time?
I had a great time.
It's been great getting to know you in person. This is the first.
Yes.
This is the first time we've met in person.
It is.
I know. I hope you weren't disappointed.
no, it was fantastic.
Gosh, hope I tried to look my best today. I don't know if I It's very hard. It's harder these days.
You managed to do it today.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it takes several hours in the morning. I have like a team. There's a whole
that's
team
right.
around me. Yeah, but I come out of the chamber and
Yeah.
I can't move very much because things will fall off. But I'm just saying, it's a hard, difficult thing to do.
No, it's amazing.
Well,
So-
you're very kind. Very
You
kind.
look so real, Butch.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Thank you.
Exactly, yeah.
Well, this has been Speech Bubble with Butch Hartman, and you are
Jacob.
Jace Diehl
Shoot,
has been
I
here,
forgot.
and the amazing Stacey Grant. Thanks for coming in, Stacey.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we'll talk to you later. Roll the theme music.
Speech